Welcome to One Eye Television. Today we got a great topic, great episode for you all. We're going to break down what it's like being an artist, what it's like being on this journey of being an artist in the art world. Um, Introduce yourself, brother.
All right, we got Ja Dreads in the house. Award-winning TV producer. I will throw that out there.
Uh-huh.
And we're here to get into everything art, basically.
Everything,
That's our
everything.
goal.
Yeah. And glad to have you on my show, man, because me collaborating with you helps me understand more about what it's like to collaborate with other artists, other people who know more about, get your insight and my insight to help each other grow.
Right.
And today, what I really want to talk about today, I want to talk about the magazine,
Right.
Artist Feature, a great book that I was featured in maybe a month or two ago. The article breaks down different artists on how they bring their art to the world, how they help each other grow as far as an artist. So the reason why I wanted to do this show is because I want to be always bring other artists with me to help them understand the art world so we can continue to grow together and do great things in this world. And in this book, this magazine, I was featured, nice article, if you could see I was featured in a lot of,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, there we go, yeah. As you can see, I was featured in Artist Feature. It breaks down different levels of me being an artist.
I mean, that's like brushing it under. You see, it says, art saved my life. You
Oh,
know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying? So
Yeah, art saved my life, you know.
this is a story they need to read. They need to go out. I wouldn't mind if you pause the screen and you just read it on there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But it's a story that they need to read because there's a purpose and a reason why you're such into art and why art means so much to you, and they can find out more. You know what I'm saying? There, than they can find out just watching us for this hour that we're gonna be talking.
And shout out to the brothers who own this magazine. He's black owned. He's in Memphis, Tennessee. He got his own magazine. He, like I said, it was amazing to me that he has his own magazine where he bring artists together and share their stories and get people to understand the artist, the behind the scenes of what it's like being an artist. Because a lot of times you may meet artists that has low self-esteem about their art. They may not understand the art world, and a lot of them don't value their art. And sometimes you have to go through trials and tribulations of being an artist to be able to appreciate your art.
Right.
And that's something that I learned to do as far as creating art, you know, because in the beginning, my beginning stages of art, I would start an art piece, but I would never finish it. It wasn't, I don't think it was, I don't know what it was. That was just one of my shortcomings that I had when I was creating. But one thing I learned as I continued to create, I would continue to study other artists, and I had to learn to get over that shortcoming by creating art in a better way. And one of the ways I learned to get over that hurdle was I began to question other artists and ask them what drove them, what gave them the motivation to create every day.
Right, but I'm gonna say those are like two red flags and two things that a lot of artists have to get over and get past to know their worth and to know that there's no manual. We're not gonna create the same art. We're not gonna, right, we can have the same canvas, but we're not gonna put the same thing on that canvas. And sometimes people beat themselves up more than what they should, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I said like a red flag. You have to remember, you put 1,000 people in a room, you know what I'm saying? They're all gonna have a different impression, different view of one piece of artwork.
Yeah, so, different perceptions, different perceptions.
So you always have to remember that when you put yourself down, or you know, you're not really knowing what's there. That can be a great, all works is a great work of art, and that's how you have to look at it. You understand what I'm saying? Now, even if you have a person who say they don't like it, like I said, okay, that's just one person's perception and opinion. Somebody else, it might change their life looking at it.
Yeah.
Okay? We all have different visions when we're looking at the artwork, and as an artist, we have to remember that when we're creating it, right? You're not just creating it for one person.
Yes.
Right.
And that's why, you know what I'm saying, I admire the people who created this magazine to be able to give artists some type of inspiration and encouragement. Because when you see yourself in a magazine, when you see yourself, someone reading your story and you're being featured, expressing your art and what it's like, the behind the scenes, the backstory of yourself, that is very inspiring. Because my first time ever being in an article, it blew my mind, you know, because like I said, for years I would draw and create, but I felt as though my art wasn't going to the next level. But once I was featured in this magazine and these newspaper articles, featured on television, that kind of gave me, that gave me an identity. And people began to notice me as an artist, you know, so that gave me more insight on what I need to do now. Since I've been in these magazines and newspapers and television stations, what do I want to do now with my art? And that's something that I learned to use as a tool to motivate me, you know.
All right, I got a couple of questions.
All right, go ahead.
What is the person who's the magazine? What's their name?
I forgot the brother name. He's I know he.
And okay, well, you think about
Well,
that.
I know he's.
How did y'all
Well,
connect, and how did he find out about your art, and how did he get to know your story, to want to put your story out and your artwork? You know, how
well, I
did
know
that
him
come
from
together?
by me being from Memphis. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, Memphis is small, so it's like he say, you know, and I guess, I don't know how we got in contact, but I remember, I think I reached out to him or he reached out to me about doing the article, and I was like, cool, that'd be cool, that'll be worth it, you know?
Right.
And like I said, I'm one of those type of person, I love sharing my story with the world. I love doing it, and just to be featured in his magazine though, this magazine is very inspiring, very motivational to me, you know, because I've seen art magazines before, you know, and I've been featured in magazines before, but to see a black brother that created his own magazine, that's just powerful to me, you know, and that's something that I said I wanted to do a show on, giving him his props for creating such an amazing magazine and helping other artists in the field and promoting and pushing other artists. Because like I said, there's moments in my art career as where you can have low self-esteem about your art. You can be drained, especially if you're not seeing profit, or you're not seeing yourself take yourself to the next level.
And also knowing your worth, like
knowing your worth.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's way, like I said, one of the things that helps me is when I see people reading and interviewing and people walk up to me, hey, I read your story, man. See, that empower me, and they break down how my story inspired them to want to do or chase their dream or their goals, you know?
Right.
So, and like I said, being in this magazine was just inspirational, you know, and I think the brother, he deserved all the props. And you can get his book. I'll make sure I put the information in the show. Add that, you know. But like I said, they does magazines, I think every season, like winter. I know this is the spring. So I know he probably
Right,
have
and
a
that's
summer.
number 11. I see
Yeah,
number 11 on it.
yeah. So like I said, that's very inspiration. And like I said, I learned a long time ago. I was watching this movie, the Basquiat movie, and I remember Basquiat was asking one of his friends, "What do you think make an artist famous, or what do you think that'll make an artist be known?" And his friend said, "I don't know, maybe his backstory." And when he said that, that made a lot of sense, because once the world know your backstory, when they see anything that you do, your work, as far as a movie, whatever you decide to do with your life, if you create something, you see, they see more than just a piece of art. They see your whole world. They see your backstory. They see your struggle, your happiness, your peace,
Right.
and it gives you your identity. And that's something that I ran with. It's like, I want to tell my story, so when you see my artwork, this artwork explains to you why I created it.
Right, I feel that, but also like in my journey as an artist, it's like self-taught, right? And until I printed the stuff out and put the stuff on my wall, and then I would get the feeling like you got when you looked at, you know what I'm saying? That inspired me more by seeing it up on the wall, and then in my head I'm like, oh, I created that right there. You know what I'm saying? And every time I look at it, it inspires me to create more and to want to do more. You know what I'm saying?
And by you saying that, that is true, because my first time ever doing an art show, art in an art gallery or whatever, I had that same feeling, that same energy, where people was coming in, they was buying my art, and they was giving me feedback on how talented I was. And that, like I said, that is very emotional to me when it comes to me being a creator, because a long time, sometimes it's a hard journey chasing your dreams, and to see your dreams come into a reality, it takes you to the next level of life.
And it's just a moment for the artist
Yeah,
to like,
it's a moment.
right.
It's a good moment. It's a blessing to be able to create your work, create your art, and then
It's
you show the
manifested, like you see it manifested,
you
you
show
know
the
what I'm
world, and the world be like, you did. I don't met people that see my work and said, you didn't do that. I like, and when they say that, at first I used to get offended, but now when they say that, it just go to show me that that's how great I am. I don't look like that can come from me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's mine, and that's what makes art so. That's why I value my art now. As where anything that I produce, I know for a fact
You have to.
is priceless.
Right, you have to.
You know,
have
it's
to.
priceless. And like I said, I just wanted to touch base on the Brothers magazine and how he's helping the community do their thing. And shout out to Memphis.
Right, and then you're featured in there, but there's also other
Yeah,
artists.
it's a lot of artists, but this not his first magazine. He got plenty of magazines where he done a lot. No, it's not his. So that's why I'm saying, see, he gave me 3 pages in the magazine, full articles about my art, different levels of my art, and it's just, it's powerful, to be able to create it. So I hope in his journey of helping artists and helping others in the community that he have all the success with his magazine. So from there we're gonna move on to some of my great art that I produced, that I painted years ago. I want to share the first piece. Far as the first piece of art, I want to kind of like break down what this type of art is. This piece here, as you can see, it's a piece I did. This piece was done maybe 5-6 years ago, and as you can see, it's on my T-shirt.
Right, I'm doing like the head bob over here, like.
Yeah, I branded this piece. This piece is considered called the inner child. This is the inner child of. It's like a warrior in me it's always fighting this battle of life. And the reason why I wanted to create that piece, because like I said, I have different levels of art, and then I wanted to create a piece sort of abstract like, because when you abstract, you can't go wrong with abstract. And that's why I like abstract, because you can get into your feelings and your emotions, and you can express with no rules to it, you know.
Right, there's no manual to it.
Yeah.
And like I said, we can have the same canvas, but we're not gonna put the same thing on the canvas. So it's all about your creativity and you bringing across, you know what I'm saying, your vision on there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and if you can see the colors, you know, the colors, you know, like the blue, the green. See the red, the reason why I painted the head red, right? Because the red signify for me like fire, you know. My spirit is always on fire to battle life as it comes, you know, and as the black lines, as the arms the arms and the legs of this painting is sort of like me expressing to the world that I'm willing to fight for what I believe and for what I understand,
Right.
my place in this world, you know.
But remember what I was saying earlier, somebody else is gonna look at it.
Yeah,
and they're gonna see
everybody,
something
yeah,
totally
yeah,
different.
everybody had
The
their own.
arms is gonna be something else. They're gonna be the
Yeah.
highway for them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But it's
and
always
you're
good
right.
to have the artist to explain the artwork, you know what I'm saying? Because it even helps the person with their original vision that they see. Now they see your vision and they see their vision that they see in there.
Yeah.
You know, I experienced that maybe like 2019, one of my first art shows. I was there, and the people was looking at the work, and they was able, after I let them examine and look at everything, they was able to come ask me questions. What was you thinking when you made that? What did you use? Just anything, you know, to find out more about it, more of a connection to it.
Yeah, so, you know, like I said, that's my experience with abstract art, you know, because I want to get back into more abstract, because like I was talking and brainstorming about what are some of the next pieces that I want to do, you know, and that's something that, you know, in the future, you know.
Right, you said your first piece, but that's not your first piece. That's just
No, that's
right.
No, I did abstract before,
Right.
But I did this one like 5 years ago,
Right,
and it's sort of like it was this abstract is something that I wanted to do with a face feature, because most abstract could be without. It could just be shapes and brushes.
And you'd be surprised, people still see faces and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Right, them blotches right there, people see something else different there, you know what I'm saying?
And like I said, I really appreciate this piece, you know, because it's something like, it's like a out my comfort zone piece, you know, because I'm used to drawing realistic art. So to create something that's abstract.
So this is like an exclusive for the viewers, because they're usually watching you live create these, you know what I'm
I
saying?
normally
Portraits and right.
So it's like to create like that is more depth for me to do something like this, you know. So we're gonna move on to the next piece. This piece I want to talk about. Now this piece I did, like I said, another 5, 6 years. I was in my abstract acrylic zone back then.
I mean, with artists, you go through different stages.
Yeah,
like
I was in my zone. You know what I'm saying? I was inspired by fine artists. You know, artists who do abstract art. So I wanted to create this piece, you know, because now people look at this piece, they have all types of emotions.
Right.
And you can, as you see, it's kind of like a piece it look kind of like sad or.
It do, but then I could get like a Charlie Chaplin in there, you know what I'm saying? That's why I say it's in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah. So this piece here, what this piece to me represent, this piece here is a piece that I did because, see, me being on the streets, being homeless and struggling with drug addiction,
Right.
me creating art was I used to create art when I was homeless and in the streets. I used to create art sleeping on the streets. So I used to paint, draw, and that picture kind of remind me of that. You know,
Right.
when I was going through my difficult times, and as you can see how it looked like it's dripping and running with the paint. You know,
It's just, I tell you, everybody that looks at this painting is gonna see something different. I can see like some just different faces. I
Yeah.
can see like different moods. I can see
yeah, it's different
like,
moves for
right.
sure. It's a lot of different moves, and that's why I'm saying, see, when you at the bottom, see, when you at the bottom of life, see, life have you where you don't know what you feel, and you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know your next meal. You don't know where you're gonna sleep at. You don't know. You don't know nothing. All you know, you just existing.
Right.
And that picture is sort of like represent that for me. Is where I was just existing, man. Like you see a homeless person, and you could speak to them, and they don't say nothing. And I remember being in one
It's
of those
very,
zones.
very
Yeah.
damaging mental wise to be in that situation where you have no shelter or no home to go to. It's hard because the area that you are in is your home, and you have people just coming, invading, and walking through and stepping over you and walking around you. So it can be just very mental disturbing to go through a situation like that. And it shows you that these are some of the outlets that you know can be used to express you know just exactly what you're feeling in that situation.
And that's why, you know, like I said, creating those, in that zone period, when I was creating these abstract paintings, I was in a period of, I had came out of it, and I was in a space where I just wanted to express what I felt without any realistic pictures. I just wanted to get on the canvas and express what I felt and how I felt about those moments in that time period in my life, you know, because creating art for me now is a tool that I use to cope with life. It's a tool that I use to inspire myself, you know, and also is a tool that I use to speak to the world, you know. So when I create art, I'm speaking to you without saying nothing,
Right.
you know, and that's the power of my creativity, is where I want to continue to do that. Continue to, when people see my work, they understand that this was a struggle for me.
Right.
This is one of the most painful struggles that I ever had to go through in life to get to where I'm at today. You
Right.
know?
So it's therapeutic for you, but it's also for others. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
it's
saying?
also for others.
Right.
And that piece there, I sold that piece several times. You know, a lot of people bought that piece, and they really loved that piece. You know,
It speaks to them.
yeah,
It speaks to their soul. It
and
speaks.
yeah,
You know
it
what I'm
speaks,
saying?
and it's abstract. When you dealing with abstract, see, abstract can go anywhere in the house. Abstract is one of those pieces that
And then it's just nothing perfect. Like somebody will say, "Oh, he didn't finish the top of the
yeah,
right." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
When-
that's the love of this painting here. I wanted to, like I said, break that painting down, and like I said, I love it, you know. So I make sure I always express to the world what these paintings mean to me, because those were some of the first stages of me getting into abstract, you know.
Right. I love abstract.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
love.
saying?
Yeah, it speaks to the world. So the next piece I want to get into, we're gonna break this piece down because this is another
Okay,
inspiring.
break it down. Where is that?
And,
Oh, okay.
see this piece. Now this piece I created. This piece here is the emotional side of a man. All right. the reason why I wanted to create this piece was because most people feel as men shouldn't show emotions. It seemed make them weak.
Yeah, but we
Yeah.
live in a world with hyper masculinity.
Yeah, so this what I'm saying, like they tell you that a man don't supposed to cry.
Right.
You're considered weak if you, so I wanted to create this abstract painting of emotions, but I wanted to give somewhat a feminine side to it because being a man ain't nothing wrong with crying. Being a man, you have to get in tune with your emotions. For me, I'm gonna say for me.
Right.
Me, for years, I would stuff my emotions or my feelings. I wouldn't talk about things that I was dealing with, that was going on with me, and I didn't know that was killing me.
Yeah, I wasn't able to
That was killing, like the things that are the trauma that I went through in life, and seeing the street life. If you cry, if you say you hurt me, oh, you a girl, you feminine, you know. So I wanted to create this piece to kind of visualize what the world see a man emotion as feminine, and it's not feminine. A man's supposed to have the ability, even especially like in social media. If you see a man on social media crying, or social media would eat him up. The trolls would.
Right, we're talking about men, not metrosexuals.
Yeah, but I'm saying, yeah,
Right.
but my point is that the environments that I grew up in, they made my heart hard,
Right.
and they made me cold, where I didn't show no feelings.
Right.
I had no passion for nobody. It made me a animal, and once I got in tune with who I was as a real person, that's when I started to show love to others and have empathy and passion and being able to help others and not look down on them or not, debo them or take advantage of them, because that's the world we living in. We living in a world that gets you before you get me, and I had to break all those codes, those false beliefs. It's where I wanted to be able to, if I see a homeless person and they ask me for some money, I don't say, go get a job. I don't say that. I give them some money, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And have sympathy, because I don't know their story. You see what I'm saying?
right
So
there.
the reason why, like I said, the purpose of this painting is I wanted to show the world that this is a male emotions, and his side of his feelings is not feminine.
Right.
But you gotta know how to get in tune with them and be able to express yourself without being worried how the world gonna view you as a person.
I mean, this painting is so abstract. Like, without you saying that, I would have never pictured that,
Yeah,
because
it's got different meanings. Like whatever your interpretation of it, but that's my meaning.
right, you know, I was focused on like the eyes. You know what I'm saying? One eye was like colored in, and then it was just that one.
So
eye,
the
right.
reason for that, like I was telling you, the life of this world will give you a black eye,
Right.
and one eye is your perception. See, your eyes, my perception of this is how you view a man when you see him weak. The eyes play, because the way you see a person, the way you read the person behaviors,
Right.
because like I said, I've been in like especially in prisons, in jails. You can't cry in jail. You can't show weakness in jail.
Right.
You can't show weakness on the streets. Showing weaknesses or showing emotions on the street, it can get you killed.
And you can get you killed without.
Yeah.
So it's like,
So
either way. You know
so
what I'm
that's
saying?
why I said I painted that painting, because I wanted to express to the world, like, me growing up believing that a man ain't supposed to cry is false for me.
Right.
Today I know that crying, it cleanses my soul. It helps me mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. It helps me heal because for years, man, I wouldn't cry. I wouldn't talk about nothing. And I used that and that turn into anger.
Right.
That turn into rage. When you don't talk about stuff, you stuff all.
It's like demons.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
It's
demons.
like demons.
This is how people never
Yeah.
get rid of those demons, because they never talk about it.
Yes.
You don't know what they're going through, and it's like them demons just keep
Yes,
taunting
yes.
them. Like you ain't never gonna change.
Yeah.
Right. So
that, like I said, with that painting, I wanted to like break down the because, like I said, the world look at you as weak, effeminate, if you cry as a man, you know, and
then a lot of, you know how the structure of the households was set up to where the
Yeah.
fathers was even dead or the fathers in jail, so you don't have, you know what I'm saying, that male role model there, you know, to learn from. You want to be strong because you got your mom, your sisters, or you have your grandma, you know what I'm saying, and you stepping into the role as the man, you understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you got to stay strong, you got to do this and you got to do that, and people don't realize that we're all human beings and we all have to, it's like electrical circuit. Electricity come in, it has to come out a certain way, okay? Do you want it to bust out or do you want it to flow out? You know what I'm saying?
So, like I said, you know, me growing up in this world, man, in the environments that I was in, it was a lot of beliefs that I had that it wasn't true, man. It wasn't true, and to come out of it, a lot of times people may look at you crazy,
Right.
because they knew how I was, and to see a new, more mature person of
Right,
me, they don't know how to perceive, they don't know how to accept me, or they don't know how to come at me, and I'm okay with that, because go ahead.
Yeah, not to cut you off, but what was really inspiring with me with your story is like, it was like chicken soup for the soul for you, but it was like full circle, like relationship wise with your moms and with your little brother, and you know what I'm saying, like it was more like this stuff was inspiring for you, but for them to watch you go through that process, to watch you blossom and bloom into the person you is today from where you came from, you know what I'm saying, that's a whole story right there.
Yeah, that's a whole story
that only
in
they
itself.
can tell. You understand what I'm saying?
And they witnessed, you know, like I said, my family witnessed a lot of because they knew the street person.
Right.
Then they knew the person that was homeless on drugs. And then to see him come out of that and become an artist, you know.
And then inspire them also to do stuff.
Yeah,
like your
yeah.
mom, you inspire her to write books. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And your brother, you know what I'm saying? He had to come to you and tell you.
Yeah, one of my brother told me one time, he said, man, one thing you taught me, he said, man, you taught me that it's never too late. And that's true, you know, there is never too late to recreate your world, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's something that I'm doing now. I'm in the stages of, because to me, I feel like I live 3 lives, you know, I really do, probably more than that.
But you know what? If you stay down, okay,
Yeah.
that would have just been the whole narrative right there. You never got up, right? So
Yeah, so we control our books, chapters in our life, you know.
and we have to inspire people to know that no matter what you're going through, okay, it is some light at the end of the tunnel. You just cannot stay stagnant. Once you stay stagnant, that changes the whole narrative. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how great you become or what you can do in life by just staying stuck there stagnant. So
Yeah, so, you know, like I said, with that painting,
yeah.
I just wanted to like break that painting down, because a lot of times that is a very touchy topic, dealing with men, because sometimes you gotta, you know, break the barriers and be willing to talk about things like that. So we're gonna move on to the next painting and kind of break down this painting.
Okay.
Now this painting here, see, the reason why I wanted to show the abstract compared to this is, now this painting, I'm not gonna say it's abstract, but it's more of
Realism, right.
realism, but like a messy sketch. And this is a digital sketch that I did using a digital pen. And
But what's perfect in life? There's nothing perfect in life. You know what I'm saying? So even when you look at artwork, I don't expect people to expect it to be perfect. Like, oh, her arm has to be here, her neck is crooked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just that situation to where you just have to learn to enjoy it and embrace what your eye is feeding your eyes, it's feeding your soul. You have to learn to embrace it and stop nitpicking. Okay, because if you can nitpick there, then you nitpick in your own life, and you ain't gonna get far with that.
So with this painting, this is a painting of the black mother with a kid with no father. And I don't know, for some reason, all while I've been in my art career, I always create art pieces with a woman holding a baby. And it reminds me of my mother and me, this little kid growing up in this world without a father, and not knowing that it's fit to be a real roller coaster for me in this world. As soon as I started to be able to comprehend what's going on in life and being able to figure out what's going on in life, it was gonna be one hell of a roller coaster.
Right, but when you look at the picture, it's like the mom is looking at the child like she knows, you know what I'm saying? And
she
then
knows.
the child is like looking in the distance somewhere, like to its future, you know what I'm saying? But the mom has that security around the baby also.
Yeah.
You
So
know
like I said, me creating this piece it's always heartfelt, because I love my mother as where she taught me my first knowledge that I know, you know.
Even look, the mother is holding the kid's head up. You understand what I'm saying? Like, hold your head, no matter what you go through.
Yeah, hold
keep
your
it
head
light.
up. Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's just so much.
Yeah.
It's just so powerful, you know. And like I said, everybody's gonna look at the artwork and everybody's gonna see different things. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful when you can have the artist here and explain the work also. You know what I'm saying?
And like I said, I enjoy doing digital work. I creating art with digital. When I first started doing digital work, I was in college, in the art college, and at first, I'm like, man, that's cheating. That ain't art. And one of the professors told me, he said, it's not cheating, man. He said, it's just another medium. It's another form of art, because everybody can't do it, you know what I'm saying? So when I started looking at it from that perspective, because, you know, when you look at like Marvel Comics, when you look at movies, animation, it's the same thing. That's digital art. So once I got into that, I haven't really did a lot of digital art like that in that form lately, and that's why, you know, this year.
That's new for me. Like, I haven't tried that.
It's real fun, because it's real entertaining to it amazes what you can do with digital art, you know. And like I said, this year, that's why I've been moving back towards like creating fine art, digital art, abstract art, and even my show, far as, you know, the One Eye Television. This is the way I be able to express my art, explain my art, and how my art is motivating and what it means to me. And that was the whole purpose.
If they're watching the show, they're getting to watch you create.
Yes. You know, so that's mainly like that piece, and we're gonna move next to the next piece. This piece here, you know, that I'm creating here is, now this piece I created, all these paintings here are like,
now this one is like realism, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
all these, like, I
You would think that was, you took that with your camera or something.
Yeah.
Right.
So this piece here I did, like the other digital plus this one, all these are done, I done these like 2015.
But it has detail to it, like the jewelry, the chain, the rings, the watch. You know what I'm saying? His watch is in the same arm as my watch. You know what I'm saying?
You know, and see, like I said, once I learned how to do the digital work, I was amazed at what I could do, you know, and see the digital, because I'm gonna tell you, I had this art gallery, I was in the art gallery at this art show, and I had traditional art that I created.
Right.
And it was this other guy, he had his art hanging, but he had digital art. So I was like, man, what is that? And he was like, he went to school for it. He learned how to do it on a digital tablet. So I was like, that when he was breaking it down to me how he was creating this art, that's when I realized that I needed to go take my art to the next level. And see, in order to take your art to the next level, you gotta have that passion because if you got the passion to make your dreams and your goals to where you want to be, you would do whatever it take. And that's something that I did. I went enrolled in a college, it's where I I learned how to do digital art,
Right.
and at the same time, it was very motivational because I met people in college can do art just like me or better. I even met females that did art. It was mind blowing to me to see them create art. And because you think in any field you think the man is the best, but I met some female artists that amazing artists.
Oh yeah, you'd be surprised. And like I said, we all can't create the same art. If
Yeah.
we did, then that industry would have been going a long time ago. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
So like with this piece, I really love this piece because it's like a man playing the piano.
And that's just like a random person.
Yeah, well, it's like something that came out of my head.
Right, right.
It's-
No, I
it-
mean it's not like your uncle.
No, no.
Right,
It's
right, right.
well, the feeling that I got behind it is like playing the rhythm to this work to this song. It's like I don't know. I love the feeling of it, and it was like I wanted to create it. Is where I don't know where I was at, what my head was at when I created it, because like I said, it was 2015, and matter of fact, I think it was a homework assignment when I was in college, because like when I was in college, taking this class for digital art, we had assignments to draw in black and white. So that was one of those paintings to paint in black and white. So I created.
Contrast.
Yeah. So that's I can't, like I said, I can't really remember why I created it, but I do know that when I was in college, that painting was one of my homework assignments.
But look at the contrast, even with the black, white, and the gray. We still know that's like a Rolex or something.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
We still
yeah.
know that's not the Canal Street jewelry. That's right. We know
Yeah.
that is gold there. You know what I'm saying? The chain. We know that's some kind of gold chain around his neck. His glasses. We can see like the reflection looking down off of something there.
Yeah.
The skelly cap on his head. We can see the ridges inside and the contrast to it. It's crazy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You didn't need to have like a blue hat or a red hat. You didn't need to show the gold. You didn't need to show, you know what I'm saying? Nothing. The color still comes out with black, white, and gray. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It still makes that point that, if it did have color or not, I think this is more powerful without the color in it.
Yeah,
Actually.
and like I said, that's creating art. By you giving feedback, it just inspired me to know that I need to get back in my zone with digital art, creating fine art. Because, like I said, I love fine art. I'm into comics, creating comic books and writing my story and making comic book series and things like that. But my first passion is the realism, to be able to create art and make things realism, or
Right.
that's the main passion of it. So I think this is our last piece. I don't know. Let me see.
All right, because we could talk about upcoming stuff.
Yeah,
and what we
yeah,
got
yeah.
planned. So let's get to the
My
last
last piece.
Okay.
Now this piece here, I created. Like I said, see, it's 2015. This piece I created is sort of like a guy just chilling. You see, put a little mouse. See, that's what we.
I swear, if I would have seen some gold teeth, I'd have said that's me right there. You know what I'm saying? But
Well, this piece here, I think we had to create in school. We had to create this piece where you create a subject and you put an abnormal piece. So what I did, I put a little mouse. You see the little mouse
right.
on his blanket. So it's like And in real time, in real life, that does happen, you know, and that was an experience that I had coming up in poverty, living in South Memphis, in North Memphis, you know, mouse, rats, you know, that's a problem. Even
Oh, we
in New
got
York.
them in New York. We
Yeah,
got the
yeah, I
pizza
know.
rat, right.
Yeah,
We got
it's
'em here.
huge rats in New York. You know,
Right,
here they look like cats.
Right, okay, and they friendly.
Yeah. So the reason why I created this piece, like I said, it was a homework assignment, but I wanted to create this piece of a guy listening to music with the headphones, chilling.
And he's in his own world.
Yeah, he's in his
Right.
own world, and the mouse is just something that got captured in the picture. You know, he can't. It's like the mouse kind of looking like, I
Where's
can't
my little
believe.
headphones, right?
Yeah,
Like, well, I can't hear this
why you put
jazz,
me
right.
in the picture? You know what I'm saying? So that's something that I wanted to do. Like I said, creating art for me is very, very powerful for me. It like the article said in the magazine, art saved my life. You know, because one thing I learned about creating art is there's different levels to art, and you can on the first plane of art, it's just basic art. But once you start adding to your craft and started doing different things and learning new skills, new techniques, your art turn into many doors, many avenues, many branches, like a tree, you know, like the tree got many branches now. And at first it had one branch, but once you add to your craft and you begin to learn new things and get like going around other creative minded people and listening to them and understanding how they create and why they create, that adds to me, you know, and that gives me the passion to like not so much take what you're doing and put it with mine, but if I could use it, I put that in there with it, you know. So it's like, so you know, to me, that's what helps me. I know what I'm saying. Like no matter where I go in the world, if you put me where the creative people are, I'm gonna be all right.
Those I find those art classes is good, like where they put the bowl of fruit and then everybody draws a bowl of fruit. But I feel when everybody has their own just go with their creativity, you know what I'm saying? I feel that's a little bit more better because it's easy for one person to paint that fruit, but the other person, they're not getting that, you know what I'm saying? But if you let them get maybe abstract, surrealism, whatever it is, okay, they can do a Jefferson Pollock, okay, but whatever they put out there, that's dumb, it's fulfilling, you know, when, I don't know if it's the same thing for you or any other artist, but I know it's a feeling comes over me when I'm creating, when I'm making the artwork, and it's not a bad feeling, it's a good feeling, like, you know, it is like chicken soup for the soul, like I always say. It uplifts me, it's like something that I want to do, you know what I'm saying? And I look forward to doing it, and it's a great hobby. It's a great hobby to share with your family, you know what I'm saying? Everybody just sit there and paint something. It's a great hobby, like to go to the sipping paints that they have, you know what I'm saying? Just don't limit yourself. Me, I've always been artistic, but until I sat down with a painter who said, oh, you can do this and you can do that, and literally show me what it was, you know what I'm saying? That opened another door for me, artwork, artistically wise, you know what I'm saying?
So you know, but you know, like with me, when I create, it depends on what mood I'm in. It depends on where I'm at in life. It depends on what's really going on. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like I said, today I use my art to talk to the world. You know, today I use my art to inspire the world. You know, and like I said, it depends on where I'm at in that moment. You know, how I feel at that moment. You know, because like I said, life life is like you never know what's coming.
Right.
So each day you take it each day at a time, you know. So me traveling through time into the future, and the older I get, my art has matured now. It's like I'm creating art, but the art mean more than just one surface.
Right.
It has many layers now. You know, you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, I definitely do.
Yeah, it has many layers. And as I continue to grow and educate myself and study other artists, I come to realize that creating art there's no ceiling to it. It's like there's so many ways to, it's so much you can't even explain it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying when it comes to art? You see what I'm saying? Because everything you see around you is art. Everything. I don't care what it is. Somebody they thought it first, they imagined it,
Right.
they sketched it out, showed it, their idea to someone, and they produced it, no matter what it is. You know, from shoes, clothes, jeans, hats.
But it's even greater when you can sit down with the artist and they can
Yeah.
explain, you know, like where their mindset was when they was creating, what, you know, what their vision was when they was creating. Me personally, it really goes by what colors I gotta use.
Yeah, that play a part
Right.
too. And one thing I learned with the coloring, right, is bright colors is more a brighter. In that moment, you was bright, you was feeling good, and then like the more the cool colors are more mellow, calm, or depressed, or you was
Right.
going through something, you know. And like I said, I learned that by studying the color schemes and different, like it's different colors that make other colors pop, you know.
Oh, yeah.
All that, you know, all that plays a part in art. You know, even if you go outside and look at life, the world, it gives you the same principles that the art world have for colors is already in the earth.
Right now,
Yeah.
even in the studio, when we look at, you know what I'm saying, our surroundings,
Yeah.
there's contrast
Yeah.
to everything. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
have a shadow over here. You have, you know what I'm saying? And to be able to bring that in the art, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like I said, like when you go outside, if you look at the world, like you may see, one minute you may see cool colors in front, and you may see warm colors in the back, and then as the day the sun go down, you'll see warm colors, cool colors in the back, and yeah, it changes.
Right. Then you might have some light up bugs that might come, and then you
Yeah,
got some
so
green
like I said,
flashes popping
even with
behind you.
even with the creator creating creatures and animals, if you look at their colors on it, like birds, how they had those different beautiful colors, and you see butterflies, and see all that play a part. See, the artwork got that from the original creator.
Oh, definitely.
You know, because when I study like butterflies or like what they call them, the peacocks with the big, when you see those colors are matching for a reason. And when I see that, I said, man, that's how powerful art is.
Right, and then it's still not even set in stone because you can have a purple cow, like my favorite. You know what I'm
I
saying?
seen it like a white horse,
Right,
like an
you
all
can-
white horse.
Right,
you
or
know?
you can make it your own color, a color
Yeah.
that the horse never been.
Yeah.
You can paint the horse that
Yeah,
color.
I
You know
don't
what I'm
seen
saying?
people do that too, like paint their dogs and
Right,
cats.
right.
But to sum up the show, man, let me see. To break down what's to come, far as art, far as what. Before I give my insight on what's to come, I would like to know, since we had this great episode,
Right.
what do you take from this conversation, far as taking it to your art world?
I'm definitely gonna try that. You said digital?
Yeah, it's
I'm
digital.
definitely gonna try that. But the contrasting, I think I'm gonna work more with black and white colors and gray. You know what I'm saying? And not just always the red and the greens. And you know what I'm saying? I think I'm gonna open my palette, okay, a little bit more color-wise, and also just not be afraid to try new stuff. Like I'm normally doing abstract art, but I've also done outdoor art installations, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Which is like three-dimensional
yeah.
art, basically.
That's another form of amazing art.
Right, so I've experienced that, and I put myself out there. I've did 3 art shows where I've created artwork live while interviewing
Yeah.
a guest. So you know what I'm saying? To me, art is everything. I wish I would have started doing it earlier in life because a lot of the trials and tribulations where I didn't have outlets to go to, this would have been the perfect outlet to go to express myself, expressionism.
Yes. Okay. What's to come for me? I'm always working. Just put it like that. I'm always on point. I'm always in the studio. I'm talking about even when I'm not creating, I'm creating in my head. You know, far as what's to come for me, some of my goals is now this year. Like I said, I created this brand, One Eye Television, far as to express my.
We didn't even talk about your little logo, and I'm saying little logo, but
No,
your
yeah.
logo in the background.
Oh well, that
excuse me.
logo, yeah. This logo here is. This logo it means a lot to me because it's people follow my journey. Everyone know that I'm blind in my right eye,
Right.
and do the gunshot. So I wanted to create a logo. I wanted to create this show to let people understand that when you see my art, I'm drawing. My perception is coming from one eye. You know,
Right, and that's hard. You know what I'm saying?
and and also a lot of people don't know how valuable their eyes are
That
until
too.
something happens. You
And
know,
even the vision, I learned that we see stuff 3-dimensional, and you don't see the 3-dimensional.
yeah, I see most objects I see flat.
Right.
You know, I don't see them round. You know, so it's different. It's different things that I experienced since I've been that way. You know, so creating that. I created that logo to let people know that this channel is from an artist who create from one eye vision, and his art is very impactful. And being blind in my right eye, it gives my art more value. It gives my art more depth and weight, and that's something that I wanted to create with the hands, painting with a brush to give my, that's my brand, you know, so.
And it's inspiring, and people shouldn't just judge everybody just by looks, you know what I'm saying? Right.
So other than that, what's to come? I got new projects coming. I got new art that I'm brainstorming to create to help me express to the world what I like. So
Keep watching.
yeah,
YouTube.
and stay tuned for more shows of the One Eye Television. You know, can't wait. I'm excited about what's going on, and like I said, who's to come? The world is mine. One Eye Television.
All right.
That was good.